June 6, 1971. Isabella Izzy Moreau, 25-year-old schoolteacher at West Feliciana High School. Isabella sat grading paper in a small cafe in St. Francisville. Around 8:30 p.m., she said goodbye to the owner, headed out the door, walking toward her 1968 Ford Falcon parked down the street. Isabella never made it home. At 7 a.m., the next morning, a farmer driving along a dirt road near Tunica Hills noticed Isabella's abandoned car. 2 days later, on June 8, 1971, a hiker exploring the Tunica Hills wildlife area found Isabella's body hidden beneath a thicket of palmetto leaves. Sheriff Louis DuPont of West Feliciana Parish, upon investigation, discovered her purse was left on the front seat and the driver's side door opened. She was strangled with a thin rope or belt. Later, it was found that Isabella's bracelet was missing. September 14, 1971. Caroline Carey Beaumont, a 22-year-old nursing student, left her shift at the Tallulah General Hospital in Madison Parish. Caroline stopped at a gas station off Highway 80. She left the gas station at 7:30 p.m. She never made it home. There was no sign of Caroline's 1969 green Ford Fairlane. At 6:45 a.m. the next morning, a trucker found her car parked on a desolate road near the Tensas River. 3 days later, September 17, 1971, a fisherman near Bushy Lake spotted Caroline's body partially submerged, caught in the reeds. She was strangled with a thin wire or rope. Sheriff Henry Garrison of Madison Parish led the investigation, discovered her purse that was left on front seat and the driver's side door opened. Her ring was missing. March 3, 1972. Evelyn Evie Broussard, 23-year-old insurance clerk at a small insurance office in Minden. February 27, 1972. She was last seen at a diner on Main Street around 9:30 p.m. 2 days later, February 29, 1972. On a foggy morning by Bayou Dorcheat, her car was found abandoned. 4 days later, March 3, 1972. Evelyn's body was found by two teenage brothers. Sheriff Jesse Cobb and his deputies discovered Evelyn had been in the water for days, making it difficult to determine cause of death immediately. Later, the coroner suspected that she was strangled. It was discovered that her shoes were missing.
Authorities in Webster Parish are investigating the discovery of a young woman found near Bayou Dorcheat.
April 22, 1972. Julia Jules Fontaine, a 24-year-old receptionist at a local law firm in Alexandria. She left work later than usual. A co-worker saw her glance at her watch before crossing the street toward the parking lot where her 1970 Dodge Dart was parked. She never made it home. 6:30 a.m. The next morning, a jogger in Kisatchie National Forest spotted Julia's car abandoned on a dirt trail, the driver's side door open. 2 days later, April 24th, 1972, Julia's body laying at the base of an old oak tree was found by a hunter in the Kisatchie National Park. Sheriff Raymond Carter of Rapides Parish Sheriff Office led the investigation. It was found that her locket was missing.
On Monday, the body of Julia Fontaine of Alexandria was found in the Kisatchie Park by a hunter. According to the Rapides Parish Sheriff Department, this case is still under investigation.
May 3rd, 1972. Tracy Marie Coleman, a 22-year-old nursing student, left her job at Ruston General Hospital. Tracy had just completed a 12-hour shift. 10:45 p.m. a neighbor reported hearing a woman scream, then a sound of a car door slamming, then driving away, leaving the street empty and quiet. That afternoon around 3 p.m., railroad workers stumbled upon Tracy's body deep in the overgrown weeds of the vacant lot near the train tracks. Sheriff Earl Montgomery of the Lincoln Parish Sheriff Office launched an investigation immediately. Her gold cross necklace was missing.
The body of Tracy Coleman, a nursing student of Ruston, was found by railroad workers early this afternoon. Local law enforcement are still investigating. We will keep you updated as this and other stories develop. This is Amy Stewart of KNOE TV Channel 8.
October 9th, 1972. Celeste C.C. Thibodeau, a 22-year-old bank teller in DeRidder, was responsible for closing. Her co-worker recalled seeing her fishing through her purse for her keys as she walked toward her 1970 Plymouth Duster around 7:30 p.m. She never made it home. By 7 a.m. the next morning, a logging truck driver spotted Celeste's abandoned car on the old logging road outside of Bundick Lake. Locked, keys still in the ignition. 2 days later, October 12th, 1972, a hunter exploring the dense thicket near Bundick Lake found Celeste's body at the bottom of a cypress tree. Sheriff Howard Buck Landry of Beauregard. Parish Sheriff's Office launched on intense investigation. She was missing a gold ring with an emerald in the center. November 4th, 1972. Lorraine Laurie Duhan, a 23-year-old elementary school teacher, left a local diner in Marksville after coffee with her co-workers. A waitress watched her walk toward her 1971 Mercury Cougar parked under a street light around 9:15 p.m. She never made it home. By 9 a.m. the next morning, a farm worker driving along Highway 1 spotted Lorraine's abandoned car on the shoulder of the road with the driver's side door open. 3 days later, November 8th, 1972, a trapper wading through a marsh near Spring Bayou Wildlife Management Area discovered Lorraine's body partially submerged in the marsh. It was brought to the attention of Sheriff Delacroix about other unsolved murders that are being investigated around the state lately. Lorraine's heart-shaped ring was missing. March 18th, 1973. Rosemary Rosie LeClaire, a 24-year-old waitress at the Magnolia Cafe in Clinton. She finished her shift, said goodbye to her co-workers. Rosemary was parked in the back parking lot of the cafe. She slid in the driver's seat of her 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle. One of the cooks saw her checking her rearview mirror before pulling out. She never made it home. 5 a.m. The next morning, a farmer tending to his cattle along a stretch of road in Jackson Parish spotted an abandoned car sitting on the shoulder of the road with the driver's door opened. 2 days later, March 21st, 1973, a fisherman near the Thompson Creek discovered Rosemary's body. Sheriff James Jim Holloway of the East Feliciana Parish Sheriff Department led the investigation. She was strangled. Her necklace was missing. September 9th, 1973. Lillian Grace Carter, a 25-year-old librarian, finished her shift at the Jonesboro Public Library. At 7:15 p.m., she stepped out and walked to her car. She never made it home. Lillian's 1971 Ford Maverick was found abandoned on the side of rural dirt road, the driver's side door slightly ajar, her purse still on the seat. 3 days later, September 12, 1973, a group of teenagers exploring a wooded area near Caney Lake found Lillian's body partially covered with pine needles. Sheriff Wayne Duvall of the Jackson Parish led the investigation. She was strangled. Her locket was missing. April 9, 1974. Raven Dupree, a 24-year-old school teacher at Morehouse Parish Elementary. She locked up and headed to her car on this rainy night. She never made it home. Next morning, 8 a.m., her 1969 Buick Skylark was found abandoned on the side of a back road near Bayou Bartholomew, Raven's body floating in the murky waters of Bayou Bartholomew. Sheriff Claude Jefferson of the Morehouse Parish Sheriff Office led the investigation. Raven was strangled. Her right earring was missing. By the beginning of 1974, the killings had spread across Louisiana, and someone finally began asking the question nobody wanted to answer. What if all these women were killed by the same man?